What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Outlaw Worldwide. I'm your host, Travis of Blue Demon Welding Products. Today's special guest is Scott. He is the owner of Precision Welding Academy over in Katy, Texas. Scott, thanks for being on the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. What's that?
It is a bottle of my favorite whiskey, and I'd like you to have it.
Oh, thank you very much. I will get shit-faced on that.
We need to get a little while. I need to get a sponsor on this, so make sure you shout them out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Bushmills. Finest blended, what was this, whiskey of all time. Irish whiskey of all time. Bushmills. Sponsor the show. All right, Scott, before we get started, you want anything to drink, man?
I'll take a Modelo.
Take a Modelo. Alrighty. I always feel like this is the most awkward part of the show because it's literally just me trying to work, bottle opener. No. That doesn't really work half the time. Just standing here.
I like watching.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you like watching? All right. Thank you. All right. So thanks for being on the show, Scott. You own a welding school. How long have you been owning that bad boy?
We're going on 2 years.
2 years. All right. Now, before we dive into your welding academy and all that good stuff, just get a baseline there. When did you get into welding?
Around 2007, 2009.
2007, 2009. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, 2008.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why? Because I had a pretty rough high school experience. I got into drugs, all that. Withdrew my senior year because I was on a coke binge. And just couldn't make it to school anymore. So my dad withdrew me. The APs couldn't handle me anymore and all that. So I withdrew. Said I'm gonna go to college. Never really went. Just kind of had a rough time then, and then I started seeing all my friends kind of graduate, and I saw them moving on with their life, and I said, you know what? I want to go back to school. So the day I registered back to school, I went out and partied, and got in a huge car accident where I almost lost my life. Hit a tree, 3 trees going 100 miles an hour. Drinking and driving. Not just one, but 3 of the motherfuckers. 3 of them.
All right. Okay.
And what they said was, I wrapped around the 3rd one, and when I wrapped around the 3rd one, I got thrown from my vehicle, and so I was pretty much on the side of the road. The last thing I remember was trying to just crawl to my house, and I heard someone say, "Hey, stay down. Helicopters on the way," and all that stuff. And I was like, I got to get home. My dad's gonna be pissed. And then I blacked out and then woke up in the hospital. After that, I got back into high school, took welding as just a blow-off class because I wanted to graduate. That was my main goal, just graduating. And once I started striking an arc and the teacher knew my background, said, hey, let me show you this. Let me show you how to cut. Start cutting. Noticed that I could just destroy metal instantly just with this thing in my hand. Loved it. After that, struck an arc, started welding, asked them, hey, where can I go to school? Where can I learn more about that? Went to TSCC in Waco. And since then, just built my career. I have no idea where my life would be if I would have kept going on that path and didn't know what welding was.
All right. So now, after you graduated welding school, what was the next step for you? Where'd you go? What did you do?
I went to a company, Hoover Materials and Handling Group.
Okay.
I was their small parts welder. So I started in the fab area and then worked my way to the small parts welder. So I was building all their custom parts, everything small, stainless, thin, 16 gauge, 20 gauge, all that stuff, anything custom they needed. Then after that, I noticed that pipe was one of the biggest things. Everyone wanted a pipe welder. Fabrication wasn't paying. I was making probably $19.50. Then I noticed that pipe was considerably higher. So I went and took a test for a company that was working 7/12, $35 an hour, all that stuff. Guy asked me and said, how much pipe experience do you have? Well, I graduated school like 4 years before this. I haven't touched pipe since then. And I told him I practiced 2 hours before the test. He said, well, let's see how far you can get on this. And I put in the route, and he said, for only having 2 hours, it's actually really good, but I can't hire you with that less of the experience. So then I went to a small pipe job where I could learn pipe fitting and all that stuff. Then just started growing from there.
I gotcha. And then how long did you work for that company, doing the pipe fitting and stuff like that?
I was there for about 8 months.
8 months,
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that 8 months,
Structural welder at a company called Interflex.
Okay.
Then whenever I got there, structural welder, then went into their pipe department.
I gotcha.
Stayed after, learned how to weld pipe for 2 hours every day until I passed the test.
I gotcha. Have you heard people talking shit on structural welders?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that a thing?
Because they can't weld round.
Because they can't weld round. So everybody who can weld pipe, just like, oh, I'm so much better than a damn structural welder.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, I've seen people that can weld round can't weld flat.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, I want to see some of these pipe welders try to climb up an I-beam up to the third story, then do overheads for, 12 hours a day and, see how big of a hot shot they are at that point, over here always talking. I was a structural welder before I started hosting and being a sales rep for Blue Demon. But, yeah, everyone just talks shit about, structural welders. Just one of those things, just grinds my gears, by God. That's what it is. All right, so you went to pipe, and then after that, what's going on with you?
Went to teaching. Actually, no, before that, I was a contract welder at a company company GMI, and I was getting their welding program pretty much developed, and I was just welding these little flanges, filling up a 1 to 2 inch thick bevel of just, it was 4130 material with 316 filler metal in it, and then it'd be machined into a flange. Specialty and all that stuff. They wanted to get into the welding industry. So what I did is I certified them. I was working with the CWI, certified them and all that stuff. And then after that, went into teaching.
I gotcha.
Fell in love with teaching, then went back into pipe because I didn't like that school, how they were going, and then went back into the field.
Okay, so you're back in the field now. How long was it that you're in the field that you were like, I'm going to open up a welding academy?
After I why do I keep saying graduated?
Oh no, you graduated, by God.
Yeah, I graduated everything.
Uh-huh.
After I left that welding school, I started thinking about how I could be better than them. How could I make a better welding school? So I went into the field just to start getting some money, started getting the idea and all that stuff, building the Precision Welding Academy that you see now. It was just an idea, but I lacked the funds. Had the idea, had the curriculum going, building, all that stuff, lacked the funds. Then so it was pretty much instantly right whenever I left teaching, went in the field, started building it from then. Then once I started getting it closer, another school offered me a position. They said, hey, we want you to get our school better. We're kind of in a dark spot right now. We have terrible morale, all that stuff. We want you to go in, see what you can do and fix it. Well, went over there. I said, why would I start my own school when they're kind of letting me do what I want? Same thing if I was owning my own school. So I went there. Well, as I went through there, they told me I could have pretty much free reign, and then all of a sudden started taking it away. As they were growing, as their morale was getting up, they started taking away more power. And they said, wait, we didn't give you this permission. We didn't tell you you could do all this. So that's when I said, you know what? Time to open up my own school.
I gotcha. So how's that going for you? How do you like being the owner of a welding academy?
It can be stressful.
It can be stressful?
Especially since now I'm not an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be an admissions person. I have to know the paperwork that goes into, because you have Texas Workforce Commission and all that stuff. You have other places that you're now reporting to. You have to keep your books good. You have to keep the enrollment package proper. If anything's missing from it, it's a ding on you and you can lose your license. So everything is a lot more complicated than being an instructor.
I got you.
So now it's a different, now I'm at a different level. Now I have to be an instructor, but also a business owner, also a pretty much campus president.
Right.
At the same part.
Right. I got you. All right. So tell me a little bit about your school. What's going on over there?
Okay, so we offer 4 programs, longer in time, more in depth, CNC plasma learning, simulations. You can pretty much customize your program. You tell me what you... That'll work.
Yeah, I thought I was going to hit that sink, but I
thought
did.
You were too. You're about an inch
away. It'd been so cool if I would have got that shit. Damn it to hell.
You can customize your program. If you never want to touch MIG and flux core while you're at my school, you're more than welcome not to.
Okay.
If you want to go into more fabrication, we can do that. That's what we're trying to do now. We have simulators for pipe. We have engine drivens. We have booths, all that. But there's one thing that I noticed that most schools don't have is fabrication.
Mm-hmm.
Can you build an exhaust?
Right.
Can you build roll cage? All that. So now we're gearing another program for that.
Okay.
So now I want the school to be pretty much a one-stop shop. I want you to be able to customize everything.
I gotcha.
The only thing you can't really customize is probably our most advanced, our longest one, just because you're going to get everything. So why not just follow everything how we go and then just graduate and learn everything that we have to offer? But if you're taking a shorter program, awesome. Tell me what you want to learn in that time. Do you want to learn combo? Do you want to learn exhaust? Do you want to learn specialty metals? You're here for a limited amount of time. Let's make sure that you can get exactly what you want. What is your goal? And that's what I always tell the students. I want you to come in with an idea. I want you to research the industry before you come in. Where do you want to go? And then have another backup. Because what happens if that goes down? What happens if you want to be a pipeline welder? What happens if the pipeline's down that year? It happens. Every 4 or 5 years, oil goes down. What happens? Where are you going after that? So let's have a backup. And that's pretty much how I've built it. Is I want you to customize it. I want you to have projects. I want you to have more than just booth experience.
Right.
You can go to any other school and weld in a booth. It's not at my school. You're going to learn a little bit in the booth. You're going to learn the fundamentals, but after that, let's get you a project, real life project. Let's even see if you have a project that you can cost out, that I can teach you how to cost, material costs, all that stuff, and get you a little profit. I had one student built a little table, made $150 off it. He had, I think, $20 worth of material into it. I want you to learn more than just a welded school.
Right. So those are some of the things that you encourage. What are some things you don't encourage your students doing while they're at your school?
That it comes with any school. I don't want you out of your booth just messing around. I don't want you to just go sit in your car and smoke and all that stuff. But you're always gonna. It's a school. People are always gonna mess up. People are gonna get complacent. They're gonna do that. That's where it comes from me and my instructors to be able to take that and just go, hey, this is why we need to not be in a car all day. You're trying to build a life and all that stuff, and get their motivation back and running.
I got you.
And that's one thing that a lot of schools fail at, is because they just want the check. They just want that student in the booth because they get revenue from it every hour. Well, that whole reason I started the school was to get out of that thought process. I want you to be excited. But do's and don'ts is just stay in your booth, weld, learn. Don't just play around. Yeah, it's cool to joke around, build relationships with your students next to you, but you're there for a goal. Make sure you hit that goal. And it's just, do's and don'ts are pretty much normal.
I got you.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any prerequisites these students have to fulfill before they come to your school? Or how does the application process work for you?
Most of the time I just have them tour. I make sure that it's a good fit. This has to be a fit between both parties. You're paying a good amount of money. It can range from $1,000 up to $19,000. You're paying for your future. It's an investment, but if we're not a right fit, if you're just coming here just day one and you're just like, hey, I'm not going to go any other school, I want to come here, I'm going to go and encourage you to go check out another school. See if they're a right fit, see if we're a right fit, and just go from there. But you got to get a tour. If you say you have welded and you don't want to do a certain process, it's not a problem. What I usually do is I have you come in for a couple hours and show me that you can do it. If you want to pretty much get credit for that.
Okay.
Then we'll have you in, you'll show me that you can do it. If you can, awesome, not a problem. But no matter what, I try to start everyone. Even if you've been in the industry 15 years, I'm going to make sure that you have the right fundamentals. You're going to start on T-joints, you're going to start on flat plate, and then build from there. If you can't progress like that, if you can't show me that you can do it, then we're going to kind of stay on that a little bit longer. I want to make sure that your bad habits get kind of worked out, and then we're going to keep building off that. So you're always going to start from the beginning.
All right, so what do you do if a student comes to you and he has welding experience already?
Well, first I ask him, what does he want to focus on here? If he wants to better what he has known, like if he wants to better his TIG experience and he's been a pipe welder, I'm going to have him either learn from the bottom while he's here, or we're going to kind of have him come practice for a little bit and show me where he's at. And then I can kind of customize this program from there. Do we need to start at 2G? Do we need to start at 5G? Where do we need to go? And then we kind of just build from there. But if they say, hey, I've been welding MIG and flux core for 15 years, I don't want to touch MIG and flux core, awesome. We're going to kind of customize a program from day one. What do you want to focus on first? Because that's going to be majority. That's going to be the meat of your program. You're going to get probably 6 to 8 weeks on that. We want your meat there. And then at the end, if we have time left over, awesome. What's your next one that you want to focus on? That's kind of how we do it at the school. Is just want to make sure that you get everything that you want from it.
Okay.
Not just a cookie cutter program from every other school.
And now, does Precision Welding Academy offer any like tuition assistance or anything like that so far?
At the moment, we have workforce.
Okay.
Right. So what happens is if you're low income or not working and on unemployment, you're qualified for a grant up to $6,000. And you have to go get assessed by them, make sure that you're a good fit for the program. If you are, awesome. It's about a month and a half process with that. And then you get to come to school with a $6,000 grant. If not, then it's all out of pocket.
Okay.
So that's why I have 4 programs and 5 individual courses. The individual courses are very specific, but they're cheaper in cost. So you can come in without paying $19,000 if you don't want to.
I gotcha. All right, Scott, thanks for coming by today. So where can people find you?
You can find me on my page, Scott Raabe, or you can find us on the Instagram, Facebook page, Precision Welding Academy.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming down today. Guys, I want to give a huge shout out to the show's sponsor today, Canada Welding Supply. Also, please, for the love of God, head over to outlawworldwide.com and pick up some merch. Y'all know how expensive it was to fly Scott here from Katy to Houston today? Okay, we can't afford it on our own. We need y'all's help and support. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, everybody, and share the shit out of this.